20 teams lined up in Cozumel for the mixed team relay of under 23 and junior. And it was a very fast race, 250 meters of swimming, 5 kilometers of biking, and a 1 mile run for each of the 4 team members. Hungary was out of the water first with Brazil just behind, but it was very close in that opening leg with 15 of the 20 teams all on the bike within a matter of just a few seconds. 2 laps for the women, each team having to choose whether to put their strongest athletes first or last, and Australia clearly had some great swim bikers as they were 1-2 out of the transition zone with Renier from Canada third out, but it was very close, and as they went through the 800 meter mark, there were less than 8 teams within seconds apart. Back into the water for the first of the men's legs, and again Australia with another great leg out of the water, but only a few seconds separated the top 6 men as they headed out onto the bike course. Canada's Oliver Belcher able to leech on and have a group of 5 men, and they were able to put a sizable gap into the rest of the field. You could see that many of the men were still riding in their bare feet on top of their cycling shoes. A chase group of 9 tried to track down the elite group, and in that chase group included Great Britain and Spain, some of the big athletes expected to be major players before the race ended. New Zealand's Taylor Reid pushed the pace through the middle stages, and it would be New Zealand back into the water first, but just again a few seconds separated, and as they came out of the water at the end of the third leg, still everything was open, and you could see as they headed out onto the third leg, a group of 4 athletes would be very close together, but it would be the U.S. athlete Taylor Knibb who would really become the major factor probably in the entire race, as she came out onto the bike in 7th place and was able to ride herself and a chase group of athletes to catch the leaders. There were the lead group, and just behind Taylor Knibb for the United States, the world junior champion with a group of 4, and she would pull that entire group up. And by the end of the bike leg, you would have the majority of the major players all in one large group heading out onto the run. Taylor Knibb from the United States would have a sizable lead throughout the run, and she would give her teammate, the world junior male champion, a small lead, but Declan Wilson from Australia would be not too far behind. Johnson from Great Britain and Castro would also be into that group, but it would be Hinman coming out of the water, and you could see the gap that he had on the chase group of athletes. Everyone expected the world junior champion to have enough gas to finish the day off, but some very strong men would be coming up from behind Hinman. By the end of the 5-kilometer bike ride, all the big players would be into one group, and Castro, maybe the most experienced man in the group, having himself in a very significant position. Into the run shoes for the final anchor leg, and David Castro along with Callum Johnson would be the first 2 men to hit the pavement. Hinman from the United States very close behind, and as they went through the half-kilometer mark, it would be Great Britain and Spain side by side, but Castro, the more experienced of the 2 runners, eventually would find the legs to lead Spain to the under-23 mixed team relay. David Castro claims gold for Spain. Just behind him, you see Great Britain in about a second and a half back. Declan Wilson with the bronze medal for Australia.
Yeah, we were a little tired, but we have energy and we give all that we have, and the result was incredible.
Pues bueno, muy feliz por todo el equipo porque llegábamos con muchas ganas. Las carreras, las chicas se quedaron cuarta y quinta rozando la medalla ayer, y bueno, tanto Antonio como yo en sub-23 no tuvimos nuestra mejor actuación y queríamos quitarnos la espina, y qué mejor manera de con un oro.